Afternoon everyone, hope everyone's alright today. I've got Dad in the background trying to take the barn down, but my little job today is, I don't know how well, I'll just get my phone, I don't know how well you can see this, but the radio is now up here. So basically what I've done is, it used to be up here in the radio, slot, you can't really see the bin slot, but there's a little slot there. I don't know how well you can hear me, hopefully you can hear me. There's a switch here and a switch here. The radio used to be in there, but the up and over window, which is up the, that's a bit better. So as you can see, this is the up and over window, and this is where the radio DIN slot is here basically. This is the switch for the radio, that's the switch for the beacon, but as you can see, I'm sat in the seat, and when you try to look at the radio, it's completely covered up, so you can't actually see what you're looking at. I hope you can hear me because Dad's grinding away in the background. Yeah, so basically what I've done is I've moved the radio over under there, but I've just got to move the speaker cables from under there, as you can see. I've just got to cut them a little bit longer, cut the ends off them, make them a little bit longer to go over there, and then just tidy this block up over here because it's a bit of a mess. So now, hopefully with my head torch aiding me, you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Basically I think I'm just going to cut these ones off. So what we have here is, on the back block of the radio, you have this, for people that don't know, so this is your power block. So you have your black, which is your earth, your red, which is your constant live. So when you program a frequency into your radio and then turn it off with the ignition on your car and then turn it on again, it will always remember that frequency. So that's what the red one is, the memory, which is obviously what basically gives the radio memory and make sure it doesn't lose its settings and all that sort of stuff. And then your yellow cable, which is here, this is standard on pretty much all radios. Your yellow wire is the power from your ignition when you turn your ignition on. So all I've done there is at the back of the radio, you can't really see it very well, but I've taken basically the other end of this that comes out of the radio. I've taken the ground and put it into a Wago with a crimp up on the bolt on the mount on top of the radio, which just earths to the cab. And then the red and yellow here are into the same Wago with that white bit of cable going up and over the roof back to the switch, so that, because that's all I need power wise. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all these to sort of that length, and then I'll just be able to put, so if the light keeps changing it because I'm looking at my phone to make sure everything's in shot, but I think I'm going to cut all of these. Oh, and by the way, the blue there, I've always known that, because I've installed a couple of subs in my cars and stuff, I've always just known that as a switch sort of cable, so that when you turn the ignition off, if like a sub has what's called a REM, so that it turns off the ignition and doesn't drain the battery again, that basically is what you connect to the REM to make it turn on and off. It's like a switch. So you don't need that in this. I don't need that in this situation. I just need all these cables. All of these colours here are positives and negatives for the speakers, and everything else here is just power, which I don't need anymore. I can forget about that and tie it all up in a bit. But I'm gonna I put these in here I put those in there like that just to use it earlier because I was scraping up the bucket. But I'm gonna put all them out and do exactly the same as what I just did with those other ones the other side of the cab. I'm going to cut these in half so that I can crimp them a little bit easier. I don't actually need that. So basically all this is if you look at this block, all this is the bit that plugs into your car, so you don't really need that. That uses, I think they're 2.8mm crimps to go into those, if you can see those little spades in there. 2.8mm I think they are, I can't quite remember. So all I'm doing is just literally stripping the cable like this. Sorry, my hand's in the way, that was a terrible shot. Now I've got left hand side all femaled up. That sounds wrong, but the femaled up. Two there and two in here. So now basically all I've got to do is match them up to the colours that are here. So I'll get to doing that in a time lapse so that I'm not wasting everybody's time. Make the video boring. Dad's now decided he's going to get the tractor out, so Dad's now taking the 4.6 out. So we've now got, hopefully I've matched them all right to the right colour, I think I have. We've now got speakers all into the right colours. So now, if I take you off the window mount, now basically, I've got that cable to pull up into there and tidy that up all up a little bit. I'm then going to put a cable mount round here because the radio keeps dropping down when I'm like that when you're using it. So I'm going to tie it up like that and put I think I'm probably going to have to put a tech screw mount in there somewhere, and then I'm just going to sticky pad up here and probably one up there somewhere so that it all looks tidy and fresh. Yeah, and try and make a good job of it. If I can. I'll stick you back on the window so that hopefully you can see what I'm doing. But yeah, that's where I'm at now. Right, well, as you can see, it's all nice and tidily, well, I've done as best I can in that corner, but it all runs in there and runs down there. Back of the radio is all nice and sort of tidy, and all this is, luckily I've just held it up with a sticky mount, so I know how the radio we are. I've got to bring my label maker down. I'm going to put a label there for beacons and radio. That's the beacons, and we turn it on with that switch. That switch over there, by the way. You can see, obviously it still comes up the demo because it's not been turned on since this morning, so it's forgotten what it's done. You just got to press source, and then I'll turn it right down so I don't get copyrighted. Oh, it's not even on anything. Yeah, so basically we have a working radio now, and instead of it being up there in a pain in the ass spot with the radio, it's now, or the radio DIN slot, sorry, it's now in here. And all I did to make the round up there was, as you can see in there, I've just put 2 bolts through this tin, and just two screws into the side, as you can see in either side. So yeah, we now have a working radio. I can't play anything because of the copyright, which is a pain, but it does all work. So obviously Radio 1 and your Heart and your Kiss, and you can jam out to whatever you like. But yeah, it's all working, so I'm quite happy with that. If you want me to do a video on the beacons, I'm more than happy to. But I hope you enjoyed that video. Please leave a like and comment if you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.